are some of the best music biopics? Well, there is, of course, What's Love Got to Do? Got to do with it? What's love got to do anymore? I don't know the lyrics. I'm sorry. I feel like I failed you. But who didn't fail? Angela Bassett and Lawrence Fishburne. I know I could have used a better picture, but could I have? I suppose I could have. Angela Bassett, you may recognize from How Stella Got Her Groove Back, Waiting to Exhale, and The Black Panthers. Is Lawrence Fishburne, you may recognize from Boys in the Hood and The Matrixes, besides 4 for some reason, and the Hannibal TV series. This film was directed by Brian Gibson, who had done the Josephine Baker story, Poltergeist 2, and Still Crazy. What's Love Got to Do with It? Follows Tina Turner's stardom accompanied by her problematic husband, Ike Turner. Back in the day, you'd turn on BET or UPN 50. Remember that? And this would more than likely be on, and for good reason. Not only is the story of their tumultuous relationship legendary and captivating, but the performances of 2 iconic juggernaut actors make the screen shake with overpowered talent. I cannot think of 2 better actors that could have pulled off these roles and gone toe-to-toe on screen. What's love got to do with it? Everything. A beautiful, heartbreaking cautionary tale of how love may not always be the best medicine, depending on who you want to sedate yourself with. This one is available to rent right now. You can also check out, cause it's the Pick of Destiny, child. You know it will be rocking, cause it's fucking insane. It's just the Pick of Destiny, starring Tenacious D's Jack Black and Kyle Gass. Black, you may remember from High Fidelity, the Jumanjis, the later ones anyway, and School of Rock. Gass, you may not recognize except for in bit roles like in Evolution, The New Guy, and Elf. This was directed by Liam Lynch, who directed mostly their music videos and Sarah Silverman content. But this is the story of the greatest band in the world, forming and trying to obtain the Pick of Destiny in order to rock magically enough to pay their rent. Films are meant to be an escape, and some films take some liberties. If the liberties are entertaining enough, you don't need to question cinematic authenticity. The Pick of Destiny is fun, captivating, hilarious, and rocks very fucking hard. One of my favorite musicals and biopics ever. You can check this one out. This masterpiece out on Tubi. You can also check out Ray, starring Jamie Foxx. You may remember him from Collateral, In Living Color, his music, Django Unchained, and Boudica. This one was directed by Taylor Hackford, who previously had done Dolores Claiborne, The Devil's Advocate, and of course this. Starting from his childhood, losing his sight at the age of 9 and spanning his years, rising to fame and becoming the father of soul. Jamie Foxx is a man of many talents, and he really shines them in this biopic, depicting Charles with flaws that normal biopics would shy away from. But this is one of the more humanizing true story adaptations. An Oscar winner that's well-deserved, Ray reminds us that losing one of your 5 senses cannot stop your soul from radiating your talent through to the masses, and everyone has their struggles, regardless of fame and stature. You can check this one out on Netflix. This is Spinal Tap. Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, Harry Shearer, sorry for mispronouncing your name, and Rob Reiner. Guest, you may recognize a little bit from his directorial films like Best in Show, A Mighty Wind, and For Your Consideration. Michael McKean in Better Call Saul, Clue, and Coneheads. Shearer from Godzilla, and you may recognize his voice as several Simpsons characters. And Rob Reiner, you may have seen in New Girl and Wolf of Wall Street, but he also directed When Harry Met Sally, Misery, Stand By Me, and this, and other stuff too, of course. But Spinal Tap is a doc, not mockumentary, JK, about a band touring and getting ready for the release of their new album, but run into self-reflecting hurdles like maybe not being as good and prolific as they once thought that they were. For years, I thought this mockumentary was a true documentary without watching it. I'd always pass by it in the video store at Hollywood Video and Blockbuster and thought, that looks cool, but I don't like documentaries, so kept walking. I got a whistle better. There we go. Kept walking. But it's because of how convincing the filmmaking was that it became prolific, actually, in the music industry, hailing the movie as realistic as it is. The film was not only hilarious, fun, and yet kind of sad, but it spawned real-life tours of the band and a sequel before Reiner's unfortunate passing last year, R.I.P. You can watch both of them on HBO Max. Walk the Line, starring Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon. Phoenix, you may recognize from Gladiator, Joker, and Inherent Vice. Witherspoon from Legally Blonde, Inherent Vice, and Cruel Intentions. But this one was directed by James Mangold, who did The Wolverine, Logan, 3:10 to Yuma, and Girl Interrupted. Walk the Line walks in Johnny Cash's shoes and follows the Man in Black's journey into breaking the walls of country music, his relationship with June Carter, and his troubling lifestyle. This was one of the more memorable biopics from Phoenix's strong vocal performances as Cash, chemistry with Witherspoon as June Carter, and one of the more unique takes on a recycled story of a troubled man's rise to fame. You can rent this right now, or just go check out The Next Best Thing. Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, which is a culmination of all the music biopic stories into one beautiful and hilarious mosaic about someone who don't want no part of this shit. It stars John C. Reilly and Jenna Fisher, and it's available to rent right now. But our probably number one film in music biopics goes to Straight Outta Compton. A real O'Shea Jackson as his father, Ice Cube, and Jason Mitchell as Eazy-E. Aldous Hodge as MC Ren, Corey Hawkins as Dr. Dre, and this one was directed by F. Gary Gray, who did Set It Off, The Italian Job, and Friday. Although the real NWA were heavily involved in making this film, Straight Outta Compton delivers a peek at how the prolific group gathered and took over hip-hop in extraordinary ways, even if it did almost cost their friendship. Check this one out on Peacock. Those are my top music biopics, but I only know you're begging for more and wondering why I didn't add others. It's mostly because the ones that I mentioned are still fresh enough in my mind to reminisce, review, and recommend. Others are a little fuzzy, but worth honorably mentioning, like Selena, starring J-Lo as Selena Quintanilla. Sorry for mispronouncing your name. I know it's great, but I haven't seen the movie in 20 years. You and I can and will watch it now on Pluto. Amadeus, starring F. Murray Abraham and Tom Hulce, sorry for mispronouncing your name, about Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's life through the eyes of his rival, Antonio Salieri. Sorry for mispronouncing your name. You're dead now, so I don't care. I remember this being excellent, but don't remember it at all because I haven't seen it since I was a kid. You can rent this now. And there's an updated miniseries that I hear is not very good, but who knows? Maybe try checking it out. I'm Not There stars Heath Ledger, Cate Blanchett, Richard Gere, and others as Bob Dylan in different stages of his life. That's right. Cate Blanchett, even a young black boy, plays fucking Bob Dylan in this. Interesting concept that I truly enjoyed, maybe even more than A Complete Unknown with Timothy Chalamet. I need to stop drinking energy drinks. It is an interesting concept that I truly enjoyed, maybe even more than A Complete Unknown, mostly for its strangeness, but I still have forgotten it as if it were never there. You can check this out on Tubi and Pluto. Get on up! Starring Chadwick Boseman and James Brown, R.I.P. to both. I didn't think he looked like him at all. He kind of looks like him there, though. But I remember the film being very good, along with his dance moves. You can rent this one right now. And finally, there's Bird, a Clint Eastwood film about saxophonist Charlie Parker, played by Forrest Whitaker. I actually never saw this one, but it's on a lot of lists as one of the best music biopics that we should all watch now by renting it. So, what are some of your favorite biopics? Did I miss any? Be sure to share some of those in the comments and let us know what we should review next on Popcorn Poppin' Live-ish. Catch the show next week all over again, and as always, I'll see you in the theater and on the couch.